guys, and welcome to another Minecraft video. This video is going to be a city update. We actually made a city update a while ago, like a month ago, but like all the footage got corrupted. Like we recorded and at least half an hour, and I edited for quite a long time, but everything is just for nothing, so I have to do everything again. Wonderful, yay! Okay, so here we are, city update number 8. In this video we're going to show you some changes we made using this map. You can see in this map that quite a lot has changed already. Nice transitions, boom, 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 yeah. And we're using this map to show you at any point where we are. So whenever we start in a new location, you can see on the map where we are, so you never get confused what exactly we've changed. Anyways, without further ado, let's just get right into it.
Alright guys, so we're in this, what was it, the north of the city. The northwest is the northwest gate. It's kind of like just the west gate, but it's the only one in the north either way on that side. So this is, this all is new. From, you can see this road over here, that goes right there. And then the brewery, and then pretty much everything from behind the brewery was not there in the previous update as far as I'm aware. The first part we started building was this this little road here that goes up this ramp toward the castles, because we needed something there.
Yes, and the castle itself also wasn't here in the previous update, in the previous video, yeah. So the castle itself is also completely new. If you haven't seen this castle before, we already made a video on this castle. If you click the eye in the top right of the screen, or the first link in the description, that will bring you to the video. We explain like how we build it, why we build it in this location, and like go a bit deeper into it. But yeah, it's a really nice Norman looking castle, like inspired by actual castles. Wanted to be a bit realistic, but also a bit like go crazy, go stupid, you know. I know, I like it. Yeah.
It's a nice thing.
Yes.
Came out very well.
Another thing in this part, as you can see, the northern wall has been expanded quite significantly. The wall here like spans from this castle all the way to the northern gate, and
which is over here.
Which is over there, yes.
Definitely.
And it took us such a long time to build this wall. It's just such laborious work, because everything has to be done by hand. You can't world edit it because it's so organic, and I really like the fact that this wall is really organic, but it just takes such a long time. I mean, look at it.
It's a pain in the ass, but it came out very successful.
Yes, it came out pretty great. And up here in the north, we also built something else. I wanted to have like kind of a landmark around here. That wasn't really a landmark here. I wanted something that could stuff could be built around, you know. In the south we have like quite a lot of stuff. We have like the castle, the cathedral, 2 cathedrals and market squares and stuff. And I wanted something similar here, so I started working on this little church. And I wanted this church to be a bit inspired by Italian style churches, stuff like that. And it came out, I don't know, it came out pretty well. Oscar did a great job on this tower.
Oh yes, the tower.
That's your work.
That's my work here.
Yes. And then around down here, we built a little market square around it. Like we started adding houses, and then this market square just developed. And it's like directly across from the northern gate. And the northern gate leads to another town in this world, which is Arskarov. So this could be the market square that just deals with Arskarov and their trade and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like it. It makes sense, and it has like a like this area has a purpose now, and that's what I like about it.
Yep.
But yeah, let's just move on to to the other side of the city wall actually.
Alright guys, so back here at the north. So this is the northwestern gate. I don't know what it is. It's like a small gate up in the city wall here that connects to the farm areas on the north. So this is quite a large area. This is like pretty much the whole northern part up until this little fort here at the fork of the river. That is, as you can see, not finished yet, nearly finished at all. It's supposed to be just all farms. What is interesting here is I kind of did the same thing as on the western gate, where I had a little bit of the city, like in the form of houses, kind of spill out the city wall, so it transitions more nicely. So it's not just you're out the city wall, you're immediately into nature or something. It kind of transitions gradually. There's different types of farms here. Like you've got these, what is it, cows and stuff. But here as well, I wanted to have some trees, like some apple gardens or something. But that takes lots of time, so I still need to finish that. Alright, so on right here, you've got that little fort thingy. This is basically, there was this hill here, and I felt like there needed to be something interesting on that hill. And I started building this little fort. I inspired it off of actually existent forts that are like in the UK and shit. And it ended up pretty nice. Basically the purpose of it is just to see like what's coming on from up on the other side of the river. And then when something's going on, like an army is coming or something, they can run off to the main castle that's on the other side of this thing. It's just quite small, but it's functional looking. It has a little toilet thingy on the side. It looks, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I really like it. It also makes sense strategically. Like it's the most strategic place to place a watchtower like this. And also,
Yeah.
as you can see, these rivers weren't here before. Like this entire map didn't have any rivers here, so you had to make like all these rivers by hand.
I've made all this by hand, like, it's been a while ago now, but, oh, that was such a pain.
It was such.
It starts
so
all the
much
way
work.
over here, because there's this existing river that went over here, and then I had to, like, branch it off somehow, and I made it into this. And all this shit is mostly built by hand, with some small assistance of World Edit here and there, but it's just such a massive undertaking. Because all this terrain was just totally different. It was mostly lower than it was actually supposed to be, so I had to like build the terrain up and stuff, and that was just effort. But it paid off, I guess. I still need to do some large portions on the west though. Yeah.
Yes, and as you can see, on this part, the city wall actually follows the terrain quite closely. I wanted this, the city wall, and the city in general to be extremely well defended. So at like all the highest points of the terrain, that's where the city wall is, and that's where it just follows the terrain. And the city actually became quite a lot bigger than I intended, because the terrain just was really good at those places, and I just really wanted to place city walls there instead of at different locations. But yeah, I think it turned out really well, and this whole like this terrain in general turned out really well. I really like it. Well, yeah,
I agree. Thank you.
let's move on to the next location.
Yes. Alright, so another part in the city that mainly I've been renovating, sort of, is this area in front of the old cathedral where we have the market square. This is one of the oldest parts of the city, actually. It was when we started building behind the town hall here, we immediately expanded to this area and started working on this. I remember all these market stalls and all the decoration here. I originally started working on this together with an old building partner of ours, which was Gabble, I think, the Swedish boy. And I made some of these market stalls. But recently I felt that this entire area was very, very outdated, and I wanted to have a better level of decoration into it, so I started redoing all the market stalls, because all the signs had just like disappeared because of World Edit over time, and it just didn't look nice anymore. So I tried giving all these market squares a little unique theme to them. It's like this one has like books in them, this is a cheese stand. This is Bauk's gnome face on it, and this one is like bread. And I think that, yeah, this one is the big inn. There's a really old house as well, which I decided to not really touch that much. I only did some randomization on it. And I think I could show you the inside of this. Yeah, you see, like I kind of added something here as well. Could make this whole thing will have full interior. Like these large functional buildings, I'll likely add interior to. Most of the other smaller ones, I usually do not add interior for. But yeah, so this house I think was not even finished when I went in here. Like I think like back here is like some unfinished. Start working on that. So now it has like a butcher shop inside it. This little meat hook thing there looks quite nice. I think this one like a bakery and stuff. And on the other side here you can see these houses. These are new because there was a different type of situation going on here. Now you've got this large tree here with this house, but there used to be a little pathway going through here. But we literally had a road here and a road here as well, and I felt like we didn't really need 3 different roads going in the same direction at this point, so I decided to board this part off by building a bigger house there and having like a little garden area where that pathway used to be, which I think really came out nice looking with the way I did it. It's just a nice atmosphere here. And this house here, I also redid the whole thing because I felt like it just didn't really, it's just too outdated. This right here, this is like an old one, and I guess this is on the new one, so you can kind of compare what it looks like. I decided to keep the tower, these 2 towers actually, and this little thing on the side, so it kind of retains the same shape as it had, but the whole house is pretty much renewed. I think that really, I really like the way it looks now. That's about it for this area, so let's go to the next one. Yes.
So, as you can see, we are in the south of THEAMS right now. Right behind this old cathedral, there used to be basically nothing. There was nothing here. There used to be nothing here. Everything was empty. There were no houses. There were like 3 houses, but they weren't really that good. Except this one. We kept this.
Except this one, yeah. We kept just one of them. We moved it though. This was like further to the back. It was made by Bus, I think.
But yeah, one day, no, I think it's actually Bacon who made this. Yeah, Bacon's house. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, one day I was just like, I was done with there not being anything here, so I started work on this house, this next to this gate, and just continued working from there. And eventually, this entire area just got filled in with houses. And now, basically, we need to do the interior of all those houses still, like floors and stuff.
Yep.
But other than that, this entire area is completely, there are just houses everywhere now, and I really like it because it just adds so much to the city.
It's looking very nice so far.
Yes,
it's very densely packed. I built most of these houses on the north, southern. The closer you get to the city wall, most of them are built by me, and then this whole section here is like mostly built by Bauke and stuff. And there's some like quite tall houses as well out here, because I remember building like, yeah, this one here. This is like, how tall is this? Like 4, 5, 6 stories high. It's one of the tallest houses I've built so far, because it is on these hills. And from this side, it looks a lot smaller. It only looks like it's 3 floors. But you have this, yeah, you've got that stuff going on, so I have to kind of do that. It looks very nice, so I find it nice to experiment with that kind of stuff, and it came out pretty nice, though.
Yes. Moving on further, beside the gate, there's this new area right here where we actually started building a fort.
Started building the fort, it's pretty much done.
It's not done. Have you seen the inside?
The inside doesn't count.
Yeah, the inside does count.
No.
Anyways, this fort, Oscar started building this. And I didn't like it. So I overhauled it completely, and now it's looking like this. And I'm okay with it. It's all right.
It's quite nice. We wanted to have we've even wanted to have some kind of barracks or whatever fortification to the south of the city forever, and we weren't quite sure where to put this thing. And eventually, I just came out that the best place for it strategically was like here, so I could like attach it to the city wall to save space and stuff. Yeah. I don't know exactly if that's totally correct, but it does poke out over the city wall, like you have this view from over there.
And since there's no like real tower in the wall right here, that actually makes kind of sense. So
yeah.
When there is an invading army coming from the south, people in this watchtower will be able to see it because you can see over the city wall from here. And you'll be able to like actually send an army. So an army can be stationed here and have like quick access to the south gate. And
Yep.
I think I really like that. Well,
It's a nice.
Outside of the
addition.
south gate, we also have started building more farms. And when I say we, I mean you,
Mostly me.
because I didn't do anything on this part.
Of course.
And there's actually,
As always.
if you come right here to me,
Yeah. Well.
there's actually a really nice house with a lovely story behind it.
Oh yeah.
You know exactly.
This one
Yes.
right here.
This one was built by Bus and
Lord Pargin.
Lord Pargin, and there's a lovely story.
Some
and
diehard fans might remember this guy, but I probably not.
We actually made a tutorial on this one. It's like in a farmhouse playlist somewhere. It's like big farmhouse tutorial, something like that. And it was built by Bus, Lord Pargin, and we have a really interesting, let's just put it that way, interesting story that we may or may not make a video about. We'll see.
It was an interesting story.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, this house this house was different. First, it was a little bit different in design. It was placed somewhere like over here instead, on a hill, and its entire terrain here was different. But before I started here, I had to like re-terraform most of it, and then we decided to keep the house to honor Mr. Pargin and put it there. So it's like the main farmhouse of this whatever settlement family that lives here. And then down the road over here, there's like another little small house with a windmill. Down here, some greenery. I want this place to be just really green with lots of trees. Up on this hill, I'll probably put all kinds of trees, and then in this yellow area, I'll make another farm then, and like so on. I'm not too sure about all this this road material that I used though. It kind of looks too. You wouldn't expect actual tiles in a farm area.
No, I feel, yeah.
Before there was nothing here. It's just like the city wall just curved around with the land, and there was just ocean. And we wanted to have, because we have all these big ships, you know, in our city. So where's these ships coming from? Where are they being made? So we needed some kind of place for that, and we ended up building a shipyard in this area over here. Out of all places. And it ended up looking just absolutely amazing. It's probably not done still. There's some areas that we still need to decorate properly, but the main thing is there. It came out very, very well.
I started building this, and I remember you not like being totally into it.
Oh, it was like really radical though.
Yes,
you was changing an entire piece of terrain here, so it's like whoa.
There used to be kind of like a bay here, like where.
Oh yeah.
Where the shipyards are, there used to be water.
Yeah, we'll get like a screenshot in.
Yeah, exactly. And I started filling this in with wood, and like just like big chunks, like big world edits, and like I was like, yeah, I could just gonna fix that later. And you were like, oh, what are you doing? And you had totally different vision for this entire area. But I was like, yes, I'm just gonna go for it, and he'll have to deal with it. And I think this gamble worked out.
It worked. It worked well. He started with the ship areas itself, with the docks. This was like part up here. And when he was doing that, I kind of started in this area here. This is this little like storage house with this blacksmith over here. So I built this smelter thing over there. That's quite nice. I started some interior, I think, on these as well. So it's not too far yet, but it's a start. And these cranes, the old ass crane design that's been here for 10 million years. And what I did with these houses is usually I built houses that look more nice, but it's an industrial area, so I made them more straightforward, not that interested in looking, but still functionally sane. And that's mostly what this area is about.
Yes.
With these cranes up here.
These cranes we actually made a tutorial on these cranes. And actually, one of my favorite parts of this whole area is like how we actually managed to place these cranes, because we placed them, we wanted them on these what is it, docks, these stone platforms, but if we just place them on the ground, it would just obstruct everything on the other side, and we didn't want to place both of them all the way on the edge. So we figured out that if we elevated them and have like little corridors underneath them, you can still access everything and have a crane on top, and I think it just looks really cool.
It looks really nice. It's nice how that came out. It adds so much depth to the thing. It's good.
And alright, there's one more thing in this harbor I want to show you guys. And that is we have some new boats. We have some new boat designs.
Yeah, dude. This is a little boat over here. It's the new ship design. I'm not 100% sure if they're like 100% finished yet. I think they still need interior and some like outside decoration, but the basic thing is there, just like with the shipyard. It's these are again made by our lovely friend from underneath the little toadstool, and he made both of those for us. It's just, when it comes to shape of these things, they look so much better than the previous ones. I'm not too sure about the detailing though on the like the back and stuff, but it looks so much more realistic. I really like that about them, so we're definitely keeping them.
Yes,
Thanks
we actually have 3 of them. Because out here there's a little fishing ship.
Oh, this little one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that, that's nice.
I really like it.
It's a nice looking little ship.
I really like it. Protos is
He is the greatest at ships.
He is the master shipbuilder.
I agree.
Yes. Well, anyways, with that, let's move on to the next part.
Alright guys, so we're at St. Kailana Cathedral right now. This is another area where we've been doing some work. First of all, what we have done, this market square used to be a lot smaller. About where I'm standing, like, I guess like around here is where this fountain used to be.
Oh, further back here.
Even further
yeah,
back.
well, where this road basically ends, that's where the fountain was.
Ah, okay, makes sense, yeah.
So I moved it quite a bit further back.
We moved it quite a significant amount back. I remember this little building right here where I'm standing on used to be right next to about where the library was at. This is because we wanted to have more space for an actual market square here, because this in our vision for the city when it's done, like, we want this area to be like the geographical center, sort of, almost, of the city. So it would make sense to have some large central market square around here, since we already have all these buildings here, these central buildings like the cathedral with the statue and then the library. Like, it's all very symmetrical, so it would make sense for it to be there. And that's why we did that.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, this market square has become a lot bigger. There's been a few new houses around here. Right here, not too many, but over here on the other side of the river, there has been quite a significant change.
Yeah, we've been working on this side.
And you've been mostly working on this side, right?
This is mostly what I've been working on this side. I think Bauke started with this large house on the corner, and then I did like all the other ones. But like, this is supposed to be like one of the richest areas of the city where all the rich folk live in very nice houses. So I wanted these houses to look extra big and ridiculous, which is why I, since there's this horse statue here which I added, like, this will be like a little symmetrical place. I add these little towers on these houses. These are like ridiculously tall, these over here, but I'm trying to get that working somehow. The main frame and everything's there, I just need to like decorate everything. And then probably on the other side of the river there will be a road, since if I would put houses there as well, they would like almost touch across the river. I don't really want that. So we'll see what happens to that. This little area here, like, this is where you can see I mark these logs where there's going to be like trees and stuff. So this part is going to be it's supposed to look very green, and then with this statue here, which symbolizes some king rising from the grave. We're not sure what king yet, because we're still working on the lore. But that's pretty much it for this area, I guess. Aside from like some frames that we've done, but that's not really worth showing.
Yes.
Alright.
Also, the canal on this side.
The canal, yes.
This entire canal didn't exist in the last video.
I think that's correct, yeah. The whole canal from the city over here where we just at earlier, it goes all the way to the other side of the city where the little fort is now. I'll just fly there right now, 'cause it takes a small bit. Like, right here is where the canal ends. We added this because we already had a little stream going on this side, and we kind of wanted to have some connection that went there, and that was quite some effort, but it kind of just it works. And then I think on the other side here, yeah, that's where it is. It goes around on this side around the cathedral, a full 360.
Yes. So
the
cathedral is basically on an island.
It's kind of on an island, I guess. Yeah. I like this little bridge here mainly. This like diagonal
yes,
bridge.
the tiny one.
The tiny bridge next to this just super tiny house that I managed to fit on this. It's like 3 blocks wide or something. I don't know. Wanted to have some house here, so I put a house there, and it fits now. But yeah, that's where the canal comes out at, pretty much.
Yes. Another addition to the town is right behind the library. Yes, this is a creation by Oscar again.
This is my little creation thing.
Yes.
Yes.
You wanted some green space here.
Yeah, okay, I'll explain what this is. So, I don't know exactly how I came up with this idea in my head, but I just wanted to have some kind of open green park area in the city. And preferably next to some large building, and since there was really nothing behind the library, I figured I could use that space to create that idea. I want it to just be like large trees and stuff, so it'd be like a shady area where there's like you can just hang out. And I ended up putting lots of like flowers and stuff there, like little decorations. I put a hamster on a squirrel on the thing, with these birds and stuff. I'll probably add more little decorations to this thing, but so far it came out quite nicely. Building all these trees was quite some effort, but I think they look nice. I added different types of trees to have it look all varied, or whatever you want to call that. And then we started building some houses on this side over here, and it's looking all nice. So now we kind of have this weird closing off of this area on the south, where from every side we're starting to build towards the center. So I think at some point we should reach the middle and have it finished, I hope.
Yes.
Sometime soon.
And there's another actually quite nice feature in this garden, and it's actually this fountain right here.
Yeah, that's the fountain.
This fountain, like the water is coming from the river actually. The level here is
yeah, there's a little inlet there.
Yeah, there is a little hole, and it goes all the way through. It actually works. There's actually a connection. It's completely pointless because it's like 1 block high, but it actually is there. And this is on the height level of the river itself. So the river basically flows in here.
Yeah.
The river basically flows in here. There's a little fountain, and actually goes down. And if you follow this, you end up in this a bit wider canal thingy that goes on the ground right there. And
yeah,
we actually built.
So now everyone can see how great my shaders are with the shadow.
Yes.
Don't look at that. I mean, we could go through, I think, all the way somewhere on the end here, and then a little bit further we have a little hole in here, whatever this is. It's a little secret area that we can put some shit in. And then if you follow it all the way down here, let's go. I can't really go fast because everything's obstructing the... Yeah, okay, there you go. And then you get out on this end where we just were. This little hole. We used to have a hole here already, but it just didn't go anywhere. It went down instead, I think it did. And it just made no sense. Like, what's down there? What's the water going to? So we ended up making it into this, and I think that's much better.
Yeah, back in the day, I wanted to have a little, what was it, sewer system kind of thing. And I kind of went for the Madness 64, have a hole in your river that just goes down into, like, some area. And I never did anything with it and just stood empty for years and years.
It just made no sense.
It made no sense at all. It was just like an endless pit somehow. But now it actually has a point, and it drains the water from that side that came through the garden and actually comes out right here. And I think it looks really nice. I really like it.
I like how it looks. So my shaders would be a bit better and didn't do this weird shit. It would be even better. But yeah, I think it's nice. It looks great. Happy with it. Alright, let's go to the next part, shall we?
Alright, we are now basically in the middle of the city, right in front of our main castle. and we have added a few more houses in this area. If you follow the road right here, take a left and go up here. There's a little stairs. This stairs was always there, but it was just right next to some empty
these stairs. There was nothing here. These 3 houses around here, it was just an empty patch for it.
This area has been stood empty for years. I started a building. I remember back in the day, like at least 4 years ago, I started building a frame, and the frame just stood there for at least 4 years. And finally I decided to finish these houses. I made this big one. I remember that. I was watching like a train documentary while doing it. Yeah.
Yes, great.
This smaller one, I can't remember.
The small one, I built this little small one right there. I think on the wall. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know which one you mean behind it.
It doesn't matter.
But anyways, there's 2 more.
I started this area just now is filled in, and then if you go behind here, there's this little stairs that go up, basically parallel to the stairs that go to the castle, and you get into this entirely new area. There used to be just a grass hill here, and it was just like empty, and we wanted to do something with it for such a long time, but we never got down to it. We never got around to doing it, and we finally did it, and it actually looks really cool. Like, so everything on top of this hill is basically new.
It's pretty much everything is new. Yeah, I think it really came out nice. It connects these. It was just weird the way it was with this big hill there. We were thinking about putting somewhere here for a really long. For we thought of just adding like nature or trees or whatever, because we had the same thing going on where these 2 houses were. There was just trees there first, so we thought maybe we could do the same here. But then we ended up putting houses there. Like, well, we could probably just make another small neighborhood there, because when it came to the surface, it was quite big.
Yes, exactly.
It was just a challenge to make it work. So like, it was very steep here. As you can see, it's like just like barely works with all these slabs, but we managed to get it to work though. But it looks nice. You can look over, especially like this part here. When you stand, you can see like the cathedral in the back there. I don't know if you can see it with your render.
I love that. Yeah.
It looks really nice. I like it. We have this little area here, down here. It's just like sit down.
A little park bench with like a view of.
Yeah, it's a very peaceful looking part of the city. That's what I like about it. And this part over here where the stairs like spiral down is quite creative.
Yeah, I like the way how it's basically diagonal.
Yeah, it's that kind of diagonal goes against like Minecraft squareness.
But I like that. I like that.
It looks
fits
nice,
really well, and I like how it just there's like an entrance to this house here.
Yeah, it totally makes sense for this house.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, I had to remove quite a bit of the hill to make this work. Yeah. But I think it worked out. I really like it. And so finally these empty spots have been filled in, and the city can expand in other directions.
Yeah, that's it.
So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please rate, comment, subscribe. Also subscribe to all the people in the description below. Tell us in the comments below what you want to see next time.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yes, follow us on Instagram at Official EB Productions, and we also have a Discord. Link will be in the description.
Everything in the description, yes.
Before this video ends, we will show you some lovely transition photos, and after that, it is goodbye.
Goodbye, guys. Welcome to the next one.
So yeah.
Yes.
I see you around.